Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits, and I hope that gosh darn washing machine doesn't really come out too harsh. I mean, this microphone picks up a lot more than you'd think it would, so it doesn't matter where I am. Somebody's always going to be doing laundry right next to me when I start a video. It's just an inevitability of this point. At this point, but I digress. Okay. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, boy, howdy, are you in for it? All my returning viewers, you already know what's going on, so let's just go ahead and push through it, shall we? Today we're going to be doing a final pour episode of the Don Julio Tequila Anejo. Let's go ahead and cork pop it. There we go. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on in that small dark brown bottle. So here is the interesting thing. So I just recently, while I was doing the research for another tequila, you see it in the background, I came across some pretty concerning news. Don Julio is on the list of tequilas that they've been a little bad. They've been bad boy. They've been a bad boy. Don Julio is on the list of tequilas that are not 100% de agave. You see that? Rumor has it, and I've got it on good authority, that that is a lie. So it does come in at 40% alcohol by volume, 375 liter. It is a small bottle. So Don Julio is not exactly as much of a Don as we thought he was. Unfortunate. However, I have the understanding that when it comes to these tequilas and their claims to being 100% agave, that they are probably up in the upper 90 percentile of purity, but it might have a 1 to 2% threshold of impurities and or additives. Now, this cannot be said it is a additive free, but they do say 100% de agave. Now, that can be translated to saying, hey, we use all agave and other things. But, so I have it on good authority that this is on the list of not being the additive free. So I don't know, haven't really gotten deep into that much on the tequila. I've had good tequila that are on that list. I've had bad tequila that's on that list. I've had tequila, I don't know where it is on the but here it is. Don Julio, final pour episode. It's got a pretty good nose. It's got that roasted agave, caramel, vanilla, oak, spice, a little bit of sweetness. The nose is pretty good. I have not had a Jose Cuervo yet, and I'm kind of hesitant to. I'm willing to suffer for my craft. Jeez, come on, get it together. Tighten up. Acting like a noob over here. Jose Cuervo is synonymous with bad tequila, bad processing, bad everything. The only thing Jose Cuervo is doing 100% correct is marketing. Don Julio, I always thought Don Julio was like this prestigious one. It's nice. I gave it a good score. It's kind of nice, but let's enough talk about it. Let's go ahead and get it on the palate. Let's get that acclamation palating out of the way. So the final pour is the third part of a three-part process. Off the rip, full review, final pour. Final pour, we have the final pour in the glass compared to the first pour off the rip and everything in between. I liked it. And this is the Anejo. Now, my own personal opinion, this is what I expect to have a good reposado. Bang. I kind of expect an Anejo to give me a little bit more. I mean, that guy back there wipes the absolute snot out of this little guy. This was like $30-something for a 375. That was $40 for the 750. I would rather have I'd rather have that guy back there. That guy has an Anejo for like 45 bucks. This is my first Don Julio. It was the Anejo. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good Anejo. I think that you're probably paying for the name and just the privilege of saying this is a Don Julio. Now, Don Julio, as I understand it, has quite a bit of top shelf options, and it's synonymous with quality of tequila. But I mean, we found out that that's not necessarily true. 2026 is going to be doing a lot of tequila, especially now that we're here in San Antonio. My radio has not squawked the entire time I was here. Apparently, I am just a couple of miles short of my local repeater. Guess I'm going to have to get something a little bit more powerful, huh? Or a booster. Or I might have to connect it to the internet somehow, some way. Or maybe I'll just take a little trip down the road and make up for that 3-mile difference. 3 miles. I'm 3 miles just out of range. My radio hits 8 miles easy. But the nearest repeater is 12 miles away. 12 something miles away. 12 and change. So I'm just like roughly 3 miles just short. And I can't hear a dang thing. Crap. Anywho, let's go ahead and get this... Well, I forgot to give you a look at it, right? And we didn't talk about the paddling. We talked about everything else. Nothing about the paddling. Relatively decent enough on the viscosity. Transfers okay to the mouth. Let's go ahead and get... I think I can get one more before the finish. Oh, there's definitely some roasted, toasted, baked agave. You get some sweet caramel, vanilla, oakiness. Everything you would expect out of Anejo. I think it's pretty good. I think it's kind of overpriced for what it is. Because, you know, I'll say it again. That guy back there, that's a winner. This guy might take second place or third place, but at least it places. I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. I've had some great ones. And this is a good one. It's just a little overpriced. That's $30-something, I believe, with that little 375. $40 for the big guy in the back. He's a heavy hitter. This guy, I think it's about on average. Mundane, I'd hate to use that word and still be nice. It's hard to use that word and still be nice. It's a bit mundane. This is a pretty solid, right down the middle. The machines, they play tones. They play trills. I hear it played Mozart and Tarkovsky the other day. I was like, what the heck? It like every other time it'll play like something different to sort of like garner your attention. Because if the first one didn't work, it'll try something different. That's crazy. That's kind of cool. But let's go ahead and do this finish. There's a little bit of fire roasted pepper on the back end. I will have to say that the finish on this is one of the best. It has a very nice finish. There are more flavor characters on the finish than on the palate. It'll do that. It'll do that like every 60 seconds or so for like 5 minutes, and then it'll switch up the tones. It starts playing like classical music tones, Mozart, Tarkovsky. I love all of those. But anyways, Yes, Mr. Randy has some class. It's got a lovely finish. I'm getting mostly cheeks. Now, the final pour, it hasn't really lost a whole lot of strength or flavor. It's still got a great nose. Now, when we do the 375s, what I do is I do it for about a week, at least a week. I don't know if I can push it 2 weeks sometimes, but it doesn't really need it considering its volume, considering that small, like smoke in a pancake. What movie is that from? A crepette and a pipette. A pipe and a crepette. Because of its small volume, it takes less time and availability to off gas. So the 375s will open up, they will mellow out a lot faster than the full guys in the back there. So I feel like I'm pretty easy getting away with at least a week. Which this was. I think it was a week and a half since I did the full review on this one. I think it was a shorter time between off the rip to the middle. But then it was like a week and a half on that back end, on the very bottom. I'm still getting some presence on this finish. So it's a good one. I'm not gonna hold on to you for a while. So go ahead. I know it's pushing 11 and a half minutes. So if you liked the video, which, I mean, this is a pretty good one, so go ahead and hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. That way you can go ahead and get these videos delivered right to you as soon as they're... It's going to start playing a different tune in here in a minute. But subscribe to the channel. That way, as soon as I release these videos, they come right to you. Do me a favor, in the comment section, tell me where you're at, what you're drinking, what's going on in the world of libations around you. What do you think of Don Julio? Gay? Nay? Meh? As always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I'm going to call it a good one, and then I'm going to go kick that dryer's butt.